Hi, everybody. Welcome to 6 Months Later, the podcast 180 Days in the Making, where we talk to interesting people about their lives. And then we check in with them 6 months later because, you know, in this time where time feels like it has no meaning and yet is also grinding us relentlessly into dust, it seemed like a fun thing to do. My name is Matthew Shorn. I am your host, and I'm joined as always by my co-host,
Tanya Wordsworth. Howdy doody.
Hey, Tara, how are you today?
I'll be completely honest with you, I'm absolutely exhausted tonight. My back is aching, my children have been running around the whole day. We've been out, we've been doing walks, we went to Lidl, I did a shop. I mean, it was really intense. It's just been a long day. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I thought I was having a long day, but I don't know. I woke up this morning and I was like, thank God it's Friday. For those of you at home, it is Tuesday, November 24th.
I was so excited for a second there because I was like, oh my God, is it Friday? Like, that's the best news. And then I realized that it's not Friday. Why did you do that? That was horrible.
Yeah, it's November 24th. It is a Tuesday. We have big Tuesday energy here.
I just realized it's November 24th. It's pudding cooking day, and I didn't cook the Christmas pudding today. I completely forgot. I mean, what am I going to do?
You still have a month.
Yeah, but it's really important that it's like old. Otherwise, it doesn't taste as good.
Wait, what?
Why are you looking so confused? Have you never cooked Christmas pudding?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is this like black pudding or blood pudding?
No, it's not disgusting pudding.
Meat pudding or
like a fruit pudding with loads of booze and like raisins and sultanas and currants. I mean, they're all the same thing, but they have different names. And yeah.
No one's fully explained to me the difference between a raisin and a sultana
I don't think
since I've moved here.
I don't think there's
and it's just a pretentious thing, I think, that the British do.
Yeah, but then they do have both different types in different packets at Tesco. So I'm genuine. I look at both of them and I'm like, I really don't know. I just have no idea.
So you just got to buy them both.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Christmas is ruined.
Yeah.
So wait, so you make this pudding and then you let it get all good and dusty on the shelf for a month? How does this work?
It just sits in the pantry for a month, sealed. It tastes amazing. I got to say, like, I don't want to talk it up too much, but it is, I would say, up there with the best pudding I've ever eaten.
Well, that sounds great. I mean, like, what else is in it besides this fruit?
Flour, butter, brandy. Look, I'm struggling to remember. Breadcrumbs. Like, I haven't made it in a year because obviously I only make it once a year. So I don't really think about it most of the time except for on November 24th when I'm supposed to make it, but I've forgotten. Yeah, so I'm going to have to get to that tomorrow.
So you make it today and then... traditionally, and then you enjoy it on Christmas Eve or Christmas
Day after all of the turkey and everything. And you have it with like cream, ice cream, brandy butter, brandy ice cream. As much ice cream and cream and brandy that you can find and brandy sauce. I mean, you get it all on there, light it all on fire. It's delicious.
You light it on fire?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's very important.
That's, well, as long as you're lighting it on fire. Hey, does that kill all the mold that's accumulated over the previous month, or?
I don't like to light it on fire too much because then you lose a lot of the alcohol content. Like, obviously you want to have some alcohol. Like, you want to be drunk by the end of eating it, other than for the kids, they need to have theirs burnt off, so.
Right. Well, you could just have leftover brandy. Yeah, you don't have to use it all get the extra big bottle.
Yeah, that's a good point. I gotta buy brandy. Anyway, how's your week been?
It's all right. It is Thanksgiving week.
Oh, yeah.
Thursday is Thanksgiving in America. I am not in America, so I don't have to deal with it. And actually, the last couple of years, it's been a huge relief, like not having to deal with Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is just a stressful time.
Why is it so stressful? I thought it was meant to be joyful and thankful.
I don't know. Well, that's the thing is like everybody so it's like the busiest travel period of the whole year in America.
More than Christmas.
Wow. More people will travel and go visit their family on Thanksgiving than they will on Christmas. And so that's stressful. I've, only think once had to fly somewhere for Thanksgiving. So that was nice. I don't know, just traveling's stressful. Hang out with your family, stressful. The food thing is stressful. I don't know, just making a ton of food. Like last year, we have a friend who has an American husband, and they were like, well, we're going to host Thanksgiving. And then at the last minute, they were like, oh, he's going to be out of town. So actually, we're not going to host. And I was like, oh, we can host. And then like, as it got closer and closer, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to have people over to my house. I don't want to make a bunch of food. I don't have to like coordinate like a potluck if I have to, like the whole thing. I don't know. It just doesn't seem fun for anybody, except for, I guess, the very young or the very lazy.
I don't know. It sounds like a lot of fun to me. I love the whole idea of, I mean, it would be great fun so long as you're going to someone else's place and they're doing all the work. That sounds fantastic.
See, I think that's the thing, is like when I was younger, I was always going to my parents or someplace else and somebody else was doing the work. But now as an adult, and it's like, that's on me. I'm like, I can't be fucking bothered. Like it's, I couldn't. So yeah, so I'm actually kind of enjoying being away from Thanksgiving.
Well, I was really excited because today we got the news that the governments, or various different, I don't know who they are, bodies that govern us, decided that we can have Christmas with up to 3 households over that period, which is fantastic because it means that we can go to my husband's mother's for Christmas, because she does such a fantastic Christmas every year. She makes like mulled cider, has amazing decorations, does a beautiful turkey, great Christmas cake. And I thought, oh my God, are we going to have to do Christmas this year? Like, this is a nightmare. And now I feel huge relief knowing I do not have to do the turkey or any of that stuff, which I'm thrilled about. So that was great news that we received today, just to timestamp this even further.
It was nice because we are having, my wife's father and her sister and my wife's sister, who one lives in Glasgow and one lives in London, and they're going to come here, which is nice for us because then we don't have to travel, but then we have to host them for several days. So
what a nightmare.
That might backfire. I know. But we don't have to make the great thing is that, like, since we're vegetarians, we don't have to make a turkey. So it's...
I keep forgetting that you're vegetarian. This is so...
You only learned this last week, which is strange.
I can't believe that. Well, you'll be very happy to know we ate Linda McCartney's, vegetarian burgers tonight. And they were surprisingly... Don't know why I said that then. Like that. They were surprisingly good. I really enjoyed them, actually. Yeah. And the boys loved them. I was thrilled. Like I normally quite, you have to really convince them to eat stuff, basically beg them to eat anything that's savory. And then they were like hoeing into these McCartney burgers. So I'm thrilled. Great success.
That's great.
But anyway, we need to do the predictions for the future because we have to get to our guest, which I'm very excited about, who I'm very excited about.
Late May. What do you think? Getting up on Labor Day? No, it's Memorial Day. No, wait, it's Labor Day. No, wait, it's Memorial Day.
Neither of those days mean literally anything to me, so I don't.
I mean, May bank holiday.
Okay, well, yay, a holiday that I don't get to have a holiday on because I'm still doing my full-time job of being a mother.
Wow. Okay.
But sounds great for you, Matt. Oh no, actually you'll be a full-time dad then, so.
No, I won't, not until September.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you'll still be working.
So it'll be nice to have a long weekend to spend with my child.
Yeah.
With your precious for
bundle
me.
Of joy. That's so exciting. Have you got names picked out yet?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, how exciting. I can't wait to meet do you know the sex?
No.
You don't. It's fine if you want to keep it a secret, but do you know?
No.
I can see it in your face. You definitely know. Oh my God, you're blushing now as well.
It's just, it is what it is.
That's the worst lie I've ever heard in my life. Okay, fine. We're going to get to our guest. You do the intro.
We have to get to our guest. Okay. So let's get on with our interview. Bye. Welcome to the show, writer, comedian, activist, and instructor, Elsa Eli Waithe. Elsa, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm well. I'm doing very well.
That's good. Elsa, what's going on in your life these days? What's happening?
I'm recuperating from compound fracture. Broke my leg, ankle.
Oh no!
Yeah, I heard about this. You were out doing selfless work for the community.
I was delivering meals to the elderly as part of the city's COVID response.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was my day off, though. Actually, but I was still working on my day off.
Oh, that's kind.
Very good of you.
Yeah. I like the work.
So how did it happen when you
I was on my scooter. Oh. I was on my scooter, and from what the doctors tell me, a lot of these scooter accidents have been happening. But I was on my scooter, and I got hit by a car.
Oh no!
Ooh.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I don't quite remember. I think I got hit from the back because what I do remember is the front end of my scooter lifting up.
Oh.
and I woke up halfway underneath someone else's car, a parked car, and just the most incredible pain in my ankle and foot, like indescribable. I tell you what, you're not supposed to see your bones.
Oh God! Oh no!
That's not. You're not supposed to see the bone. That's supposed to stay on the inside. The inside was definitely on the outside.
Yeah.
When I realized like my foot was kind of like dangly, I just sort of looked down and I seen that, and some guy comes out in the street to help me, right? And I'm like screaming to high heaven. It hurts all sorts of hell. And he's on the phone with the ambulance, and he's like, yeah, it's pretty serious. No, it's serious. The bone's out. And I was like, I remember stopping in the middle of my scream. And I was like, oh, bruh, the bone's out? He's like, yeah, the bone's out. I was like, fuck. But I remember looking down and seeing it. And my body's just like, yeah, take a nap. Take a nap. Don't look at that anymore. So,
oh my God.
Did you pass out at that point?
Let's check in on this later.
Yeah, I passed out. I definitely passed out.
Oh,
I was in and out of consciousness for a while. I do remember when I got into the ER, they said they were going to give me propofol, and I got really panicky because I was like, you guys, that's what killed Michael. That's what killed Michael. But they were like, yeah, Michael was at home alone. You're in an ER with doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do remember them saying something about the propofol.
Oh, man.
So,
far out. That's intense.
So how long were you off your feet with how long were you in the hospital first?
I was in the hospital for about a week. They had to do 2 surgeries.
Oh my gosh.
So the emergency surgery when I was in the ER right there, just to put the bone back in, that's got to get back in really quickly because that's it's not supposed to be out there.
No.
Yeah, and then another surgery the next day to put the screws and plates in there. So I got metal up in my gym jank now.
Oh, wow, that's
got a bionic foot.
Yeah, that was about 2-3 months ago. That was like the last week of August, and I'm just now starting to walk around a bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I'm glad you're recuperating.
Jeepers.
Yeah, I was able to be on set to film a new BET project.
Wow, that's so exciting.
Yeah, that was earlier this week too. I don't know when that's coming out, but I'll hopefully next time, right?
In 6 months. Yeah. But you can't tell us anything about it?
Well, they told us we couldn't take any social media. Like we couldn't take any social media pictures. I don't know how much I can tell you about it, but it was for comedians. It was a show for comedians, and it's a competition sort of show for comedians.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah.
Were you happy with how it went?
I was very happy. I mean, I was nervous. I was nervous because, this whole year I've been out of practice on, comedy stuff, unless you're doing the Zoom comedy or you perform the one time like I did in a bike lane. We did it in a bike lane in front of the bar, So there's been not much comedy to have. So I was a little worried that I might not be brushed up, in my zone or whatever. But they say it's like riding a bike, you get right back into it. The funny comes right back.
Yeah.
I felt good. It just felt good to be around people,
Right.
We all had to get the coronavirus tests, multiple ones. And then only people who were allowed to not wear masks were talent, and the director. And that was only when the cameras were rolling and everyone had to get a temperature check before you walked on set. And so I felt real safe in that regard. And so it just felt good to be around people again in a work environment,
Sure.
See other comedians, get to perform.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you feel anxious, or did you feel this is what I love and I'm good?
I felt both, and I was saying that because we were all a little anxious, and I says, Beyonce said that she still gets nervous.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Beyonce said she still gets nervous, and if you're not nervous, you're not doing it right, because nerves just mean you care about the thing you're doing, right? She says, the moment I say I'm not nervous, the moment I say I got this, whatever, is when I'm fucking up.
Mm.
She didn't say it just like that, but that's what it is,
Yeah,
you know?
paraphrase.
Because there's another quote that goes with that. It's just like, she's not a gambler, but if she's willing to bet on anything, she'll bet on herself, right? So I says, if you're sitting back here and you're not nervous, you saying you better than the queen?
I never said that. Tara said that.
Yeah, no, if Beyonce still gets nervous, you better still get nervous. I still get nervous, but I was excited and I felt ready to get at them.
And you felt happy with how it went and everything, and like the actual like performance side of it.
Yeah. I prepared in a way that I don't typically do. I don't write things down.
Yeah, I know. I never write things down. It's really holding me back at this point.
Take my comedy card. And here's the thing. I have a big, thick notebook that I used to write in that's actually pretty full. I got 2 notebooks that are actually pretty full, right? And once I filled them, I stopped. And I have a collection of a lot of receipts and a lot of scrap paper, but I never like keep writing. And I'm so bad at this because I teach stand-up comedy to teen girls.
Oh yeah.
And I get on them all the time about using their phone or typing. I'm like, write it down. I'm the old school teacher. Like, write it down. Best way to write comedy is to write comedy. That's my trademark, copyright. That's mine.
Yeah.
Best way to write comedy is to write comedy. That one's mine.
That's
But I don't write.
It's a good.
But how do you remember stuff then? Like, as in, how do you just like? As in, do you rehearse it anyway? Like, as in, or do you literally improvise when you get up?
It's like a bit of both. It's a bit of like memorized improvisation, right? Mm-hmm. It's like I have a joke that goes for everything, and I'm just waiting for the thing, and I got a joke for that.
So you're doing instruction with teenage girls?
Yeah. I teach the teen girls stand-up comedy.
It's very good. That's very good.
Have you still been doing that during lockdown?
Yeah.
I've actually been doing it more during lockdown
than
before. Yeah, the kids are at home. And actually, our age group has expanded. Before it was teens. Now I got full-grown adults in the class, And people were like, because we always it's Gold Comedy School, right? Gold, G-O-L-D. I almost forgot how to spell gold. G-O-L-D.
Okay.
And it's our mission statement is for girls, right? And they were like, no one's gonna want to. First off, you can't teach comedy is the myth, right? But you can. Right? You can teach joke writing. I can teach you how to do it. I can teach you nuts and bolts, right?
Right.
And then it's like, well, nobody's gonna want to do it online. I'm like, well, maybe some people, who are shy or whatever, right? But then the coronavirus hit, and then everything went online. So what was a good idea, sort of sputtering sort of project, is now definitely a full-fledged thing now. We've got lots of classes, showcases we do online. There's a comedy course, a stand-up comedy course. There's a storytelling course. And all of this is to get the folks in the course ready for whenever the world opens back up. Or maybe this just be an avenue of comedy, Zoom comedy, social media comedy. I know a lot of comedians who look down on like meme comedy or, the TikToks or, and how old did I just sound with the TikToks? But I do think there are ways to, continue to grow this art form, comedy, comedy performance as an art form.
I was one of the people looking down on TikTok last lockdown in the UK. I was like, oh, what is this rubbish, blah, blah, blah. And then when we came into this lockdown, we're in our second lockdown in the UK at the moment. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to give TikTok a try. This was a few weeks ago. And I've really been actually having fun with it. And I think it's that thing where you can think, I'm too old for this or I'm this or whatever. But actually, it's not. Like it's a creative outlet. It's actually really great. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
I've seen some fun TikToks from older people, from kids. Yeah, it's all, and also, we're all home.
Yeah.
So that also sparks the creativity. I'm really trying to lean into whatever silver linings.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
That we can get out of this, more time to devote to certain things.
Is there anything you're really into at the moment, like outside of comedy or anything, like just that you're sort of doing like for fun to pass the time, like baking and stuff?
Yeah, animes.
Oh, yeah.
Anime.
Yeah, it's, anime for me growing up, was always so male dominated and kind of male dominated and in a sort of gatekeep sort of culture or whatever. And
Right.
you gotta like this anime and you gotta know this many characters and this, that, and whatever. And
or this one's not serious, or this one's
like you watch that one? That's not a real anime or whatever. But I've really gotten into the styles, Japanese street fashion. I've really gotten into some, I've the Avatar. I'm wearing an Avatar hoodie right now. I really got into the Avatar, and some other shows that I liked back in the day that I didn't quite recognize were anime. That I'm really getting into now, rediscovering. And sometimes I just go on Netflix or Hulu or whatever the streaming service for the day is, and just see what animes they have on there and just sort of decide if I like it or not. And I've got time to binge stuff. If I like it, then let's watch 2, 3, 4 episodes of this. And I'm watching a lot more television that I missed, is I think also that too.
Yeah. While you've been convalescing, or just kind of
both?
For all of
both. I've been watching TV that I missed while I've been healing with the leg. I've gotten super deep into Red Dead Redemption Online.
Okay.
Yeah. Taking my horse to Old Town Road and playing a lot of video games. It's a very deep video game. I got the book for it, and I got the instruction guide, the instruction manual. It's like 400 pages.
I thought you said book. I thought you meant like a novel.
No, I got the strategy guide for the game. That's like 400 pages long. I watch YouTube videos about the game. That's the type of stuff I guess I'm into.
Wow, that's real commitment. Like, that is proper commitment. Are you living by yourself at the moment?
No, I live. It's funny, right? My girlfriend is my old roommate. So this time last year, we were just roommates. We just lived together, just friends. It's like maybe like a little chemistry between us, but neither of us really acknowledged it or anything. She moved out before I did. I moved out, went to rehab in February, March. I came out of rehab. It was coronavirus.
Wow. Gosh, that must have been full
on. Right. I left right out of rehab, right directly into coronavirus.
Yeah.
That's
wow.
Tough.
Yeah, it was tough. And I managed to stay sober the entire time. Still sober. Today's day 274, I think it is.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah. You're better than me, because I've been drinking so much in lockdown. I don't know how.
Yeah, I've been smoking a lot.
I mean, you're a stronger, better person.
I have a fuck ton of weed, so let's not.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Anyway, but I was living at my lawyer's house. Him and his wife fled to Cape Cod. I was living with them for a while, and I reconnected with my roommate / girlfriend, and we got to talking, and it was like, let's meet up for a park date or something. And I was looking to move back to Brooklyn and couldn't find a spot right away, and wound up moving in with her, and we were living together romantically for about 2 months. Now I live by myself, and my roommate, she's like a 50-year-old lady, older white lady, former hippie. She's a real hippy dippy artsy lady. And cool. And then so I stay back and forth. Right now I'm at my girlfriend's house, but
so you've moved into your own place now, which you're sharing with this hippy dippy woman. When you said you're really depressed, Elsa, would you say that's a reflection, would you say mental health wise? Like, obviously this has been a really difficult time for, well, I guess everybody to some degree with their mental health. How have you found it during lockdown and during this time with your mental health?
I actually have been having a pretty good mental health year despite.
Oh my God, that's great.
I mean, honestly, I think most of it just has to do with I quit drinking.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure, yeah.
Despite the 2020-ing, doing its best to just be a complete bummer. I mean, I stay on my meds, and I was getting good exercise at first, delivering the meals, from April to August, I was active every day and getting out and getting some sunlight and moving the body. Honestly, 2020 has really taught me, and I hope it's taught everyone, how to just be appreciative for what you have. Of course, always, be goal oriented progress minded, move to the next thing, up the game, up the level or whatever. But also like breathe, god damn it. You know, I used to think that I could never catch up. Man, I'll never catch up. And I'm like, I'm 30 some years old and I don't got my life together or whatever. And honestly, I think everybody just needed to slow the fuck down because now everything's gravy for me. You know,
Right.
I mean, it's not. My leg is broken.
No.
My leg is broken. I'm not drawing a steady income, but
I was going to ask, like, what are you doing if you're not doing the deliveries anymore?
comedy. I've been doing some writing stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I hate
what
writing,
kind of stuff?
but I heard that good writers hate doing it and bad writers love doing it. So
That's encouraging.
That
yeah, I hate.
wow, I must be the best writer ever.
I hate doing it, but I've been paid a little bit here and there, and also just the kindness of my my network. You know, I've got I call it my triple F network: friends, followers, and fans. You know, and some of those bubbles where those bubbles overlap, that's family, right? So I got my triple F network is my friends, followers, and fans, and when I broke my leg, you know, I was out for like a day or two. I didn't even realize like a full day had passed when I was kind of coming to or whatever. And I checked my phone and people had already started donating money.
Oh, wow.
And I've pretty much lived off of donations for the last couple of months. And I lived off of donations and some writing gigs that I've had. I'm hoping that 2021 brings some more on-screen opportunities like the BET thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask, is this your first television credit?
Yeah, this is technically my first television credit.
Oh.
Yeah, not my first
Excellent.
national credit, but yeah, my first television credit. And you know, all you got to do is get your foot in there. Once you get your foot in there, the other stuff, you know, seems to what they sort of say is once you get your foot in the door, everything seems to sort of follow in behind. So this might be my foot in the door or whatever, and I'm hoping for some more action like that and more writing gigs and more, you know, I'm getting stronger again, but I'll probably won't be able to do on foot meal deliveries. I mean, actually the city stopped that, so I can't do it anymore if I wanted to. The city doesn't have any money for it. New York City does not have any money to pay people to deliver meals to the elderly, but we are going to go ahead and move ahead with 500 new police in the subway. We are going to do that. Even though ridership is at an all-time low and the subway is not at 24-hour capacity like it used to be.
Right.
Something says spend all this money on police and not feeding our elderly as we are entering a third wave of coronavirus pandemic.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
But I don't think I can go back to that type of physical work right now or anytime soon anyway. So I'm hoping to find more writing.
Hopefully. Yeah. So kind of talking about that, like what are your kind of goals for the next 6 months, or what do you hope to have like kind of for the future?
Yeah, I like to split my life into like a pie, like a pizza or whatever, and like try not to give one slice too much attention, you know.
Yeah, that's healthy.
Yeah, so I think in the next 6 months, me and the girl would like to be living together again. It'd be the third time we live together. But, you know, we said that when I moved in with her this summer, it was because I couldn't find a place because the coronavirus was coronavirusing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was hard to go tour places or go look at stuff or go meet people for apartments. So we said that if we lived together, we wanted to do it more intentional instead of just the virus threw us together. So, you know, I did figure that in time, even though I moved out and I have my own place and, I'm here so damn often any damn way. You know, that we'll look for a place together. Maybe not this place, maybe not my place, but you know, with set intentions of this is our place. So in 6 months, I'd like to be living back with the boo.
That'd be nice.
That's nice.
As far as comedy goes, I want people to sign up for more classes. Sign up for the classes at Gold Comedy, Gold Comedy. I want to teach more classes. I really like doing that. I like teaching the team. I like teaching the women. It's a women and women identifying course. At first, it was just girls and teen girls, but woman and woman identifying. This is a course sort of with you in mind.
Oh, okay.
So I want to
That's very good.
Yeah, I want to teach more, and I'm hoping to just like I said, get some more of these writing gigs in, and hopefully you'll see me published about more.
Oh, that's really good.
And my own podcast, which
fab.
Oh yeah,
mental health podcast.
Oh, great!
Nice.
What, do you have you started that yet, or is it just a project that you're thinking about?
Right before I got on with this, I was in a call with the other who I want to be my co-host and the producer who helped me produce my old podcast that I had with my ex-fiance, which we won't name here because don't listen to it.
I've listened to it. It's all right.
No, it's a good podcast, but fuck her.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But because it was a good podcast and because I like the quality of it, I got in touch with that producer and who I want to be my new co-host. So in 6 months, I hope to have, several episodes of that out. We haven't quite figured out a name just yet, but it's going to be a comedy self-care podcast, a comedy wellness podcast by two children of narcissistic mothers and comedians.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. The working title that we kind of like with is meh, you're fine.
I love it. Yeah. That's brilliant.
I'm Elsa and you're listening. Meh, you're fine.
Oh my God.
Just walk it off.
Yeah, that's something that we've heard from my mothers our entire lives. And just, instead of just meh, you're fine, we're going to tell you how to be fine.
Yeah. Or at least pretend to the world that you're fine.
Nah, you're fine.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, that is very exciting. I'm thrilled. I really look forward to hearing that podcast. That sounds awesome.
And and I'm glad I was going to say you said you were talking about teaching and how glad you were, or how much you like teaching, which is I'm glad because I run open mics and things, and I feel like I should be giving people feedback, and I have nothing to say usually, unless it's hey, that was homophobic or something, and you shouldn't do that, or something like that. I really have no feedback for people, and I feel should I? And so I'm glad somebody's out there wanting to teach.
What
people
I learned very early on is learning some real nuts and bolts and behind comedy helps you be a better viewer too. So I tell my girls all the time, even if you decide comedy is not for you, even just knowing what is good comedy and what isn't, and what type of joke this person just used, and some of that stuff is fun too. So
the only thing that I've really tried to teach the people, the new comedians at the open mic, is if you take the microphone out of the stand.
Move the microphone!
Move the stand! Oh! Yes, fucking hell! That is so it drives me crazy.
Nuts!
It's I think it's if you're a comedian, it's distracting. But I feel even if you're just an audience member, I think it operates on a subconscious level, and it puts a barrier between you and the audience.
Yeah.
And when I started doing comedy, I wouldn't take the mic out of the mic stand, which is a perfectly I've seen a lot of.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. But if you're taking it out, just
move it.
And
it's one.
I'm just
move.
it's.
I teach my girl. There's a day when we used to be in person. There's a day where I teach them stage mechanics. Right?
Yes.
And that's literally the first thing. I was before you do any goddamn thing, if you decided to, I tell them if you're going to use the stool, use the stool. If not, move it. Right. I was if you're going to use the mic, keep it in the mic stand. If not, take it out. And the very first thing you do, it's one fluid motion. Pull it away and pull it behind you. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I teach. Oh my god. I'm so glad somebody else is bugged about that too.
No, it fucking kills me, and I feel bad pointing it out to new comedians because I don't want to be. I was I'm not doing this to be mean. I'm doing this because it is going to help you in the long run, and it drives me fucking crazy. So I'm glad you're out there fighting the good fight. Yes.
To all the comedians out there listening, I will promise that the girls that I bring up will move the mic stand.
Yes. Anyways, all right, that's amazing. So sorry we got off on a terrible rant.
No, it bothers me to no end. I feel you.
It is crazy. Now I'm upset just thinking about it. I haven't been on stage in 8 months.
Same. No, I was on stage in June or July. Like I said, I did a thing in Ridgewood at a brewery. Nice. They put all of their furniture out on the sidewalk, and the stage was a pallet. The stage was a shipping pallet.
I've had worse stages.
Yeah, I mean, I've done the shipping pallet stage before, and I've had worse stages.
I will say, I wanted to say, you were involved with, you were one of the organizers of Cinderblock.
Yeah.
Which is how we met initially, because I was in that first year of Cinderblock, which I thought was an amazing festival.
Surprise, Corey is who I'm thinking of doing the podcast.
Oh, is it? Oh, I almost brought that up because I was like, you should. Is it? I was wondering if it was Corey because I know Corey just wrote a book called
Yes.
I'm not okay. You're not okay.
Yeah, it's a comedy depression self-help workbook, which she was in.
Excellent.
Which while we were doing Cinderblock was something that was in the works.
Oh, wow.
Because creating your own comedy festival is stressful. Then creating a comedy festival that gets picked up by Breitbart.
Did it?
Oh, yeah. We got all sorts of death threats for our comedy festival.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Corey was a mess. She was a wreck, and rightfully so. Because there were death threats and bomb threats and all sorts of stuff happening.
Oh, I didn't know about any of that. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
They called me we all made up our own titles. So we self-titled our positions in the festival, and I gave myself I was the black voice of reason. And Corey also added the brown bag holder that I breathe into, and just hold the brown bag for her. But yeah, if you bring up the gender gap, or guys were men were super hella pissed. White men were super hella pissed that they had to wait a month to apply. The whole thing was we wanted to foster a very diverse festival, and we asked for a whole year before Cinderblock was even a thing. We asked people, how come comedy festivals are booked in such a way that they're so majority white? And what we kept hearing from festival bookers, right, it was that, well, black people don't submit. Well, women don't submit. And we're like, that doesn't seem plausible, but okay.
Yeah.
If that's the case, well then in our early bird submissions, right, we actually only want to see people of color. We only want to see women, LGBTQ, comics over 65, differently abled comedians for the first 30 days. And for this early bird period, you guys get a discount, 77 cents on the dollar, right? Now here's the thing. Right? Here's the thing. If you take out the gender gap pricing, the reasoning for our gender gap pricing, and you take out the fact that we were only wanting to see a certain segment, that's almost exactly how every comedy festival runs its, like, there's a discount on early bird, and the closer it gets to the festival deadline, the more expensive it is to submit, right? People were trying to say that the festival is too expensive. It's $25 to submit. So that means
that's standard.
$25 to submit. That means the 77 cents on the dollar made it 19 something. So I'm like, you're whining about a $5 difference?
Yeah.
You can't wait 30 days? And people are like, well, what do you don't want white men on your festival? You don't want white men on your festival? How's it going to be a good festival? First off, you're trying to say that if there's no white men on your festival, this is not going to be a good festival. And that just shows your ass right there. Secondly, we didn't say we're not. You excluded yourself. We didn't say we didn't want white men at all in the festival, right? No. We just said we had to wait. And the white man who knows why and understands why he has to wait, that's the one we want. We don't want you. If you don't get this, if you don't get our reasoning.
Yeah. I mean, I applied. I applied for a lot of festivals when I lived in the US, but I applied for your festival because I was like, even if I don't get in, I'm glad to throw $25 to this festival because I respected what you guys were doing, and then I did get in, and it was a really great experience. It was one of the best festivals I'd ever been to.
Yeah. Not to keep on horn, but we heard that beep beep.
Yeah, I mean, no, and you should. I mean, it was really great. It was a great lineup of fun venues, lots of there was like little touches. Like there was a day where we all went to Two Boots and made pizzas.
Yeah, the pizza day.
But no, and I was gonna say I've tried to emulate because I run a festival here in Oxford for the last couple of years. It got canceled this year, but I've tried to emulate that model of kind of forefronting diversity and like not it just being a bunch of white dudes.
Yeah.
And I think we did pretty well. Like this year we got canceled obviously, but last year we were like 70% women.
Yeah. Your festival was amazing last year. It was so good.
Yeah. About 30% people of color and about 10% LGBT and stuff like that. So we found some really great people.
That's great. But yeah, that's when Corey started getting death threats, and after a while, I just started handling all our press because I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. Send me death threats. I'm black. It's not scary. Go ahead, do it.
Oh my gosh!
Like, no, I'm going to show up at your house. Damn it! No, let's go ahead.
Gosh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
We had an idea for the second festival, but actually the second year was so much bigger and met with less, because people seen the success of the first one. The second one was left with so much less resistance that we had an idea to take all the hate mail and do a show where we just do dramatic readings.
Oh, that sounds really fun.
But we wound up not getting that much actually the second year because the second
disappointing.
Year, people seen the success of it, and so we didn't even get any hate mail to enough the second year because people were so about it.
What a disappointment! You're like people don't even hate us anymore.
It's not radical if you don't hate us.
Did you want to do a swing prediction for 6 months' time? Like, as in, like a big swing prediction that's basically for the world, you know?
Big prediction, swing prediction for the world. The rest of the world is introduced to the Popeye's chicken sandwich. And that is how also we will do the vaccine, the coronavirus vaccine.
In the sandwich.
We'll be in the Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich.
Wow, it sounds delicious, but not good for Matt because he's vegetarian.
I'm vegetarian, but I am happy that there is a non-homophobic chicken sandwich alternative out there.
That chicken sandwich slaps too, yo. My girlfriend got one the other day.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know what? I'm not a fighter. I wouldn't fight over this. You remember people were fighting over that fucking sandwich, right?
Yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah.
She was like, I'm not a fighter, but I get it.
I might push somebody for it.
I might aggressively shove a person.
I might get some elbows up, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah. If we can find a way to get you that seasoning and put that on something vegetarian,
I'm sure. I'm sure. Maybe in 6 months. I'm hoping in 6 months they come up with the vegetarian chicken sandwich.
Vegetarian version.
Yeah.
If you ever just want to say fuck veganism though, and just go balls to the wall, but not necessarily, because balls to the wall I think might be pork. Don't go pork.
Nah.
If you want to go meat but still be, good about it, then chicken is the way to go, and get that chicken sandwich.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. Cool. All right. So, Elsa, we are not going to say goodbye to you because through the miracle of editing, we are going to continue this conversation in 6 months.
Yeah. I'm excited.
But one thing we do ask our guests to do is we ask them to set up a joke that they do not know how it's going to end. And then in 6 months, you will deliver the punchline. And that is how we will marry these two interviews together for one long interview.
Oh, shit.
Sorry to put you on the spot. You got 6 months to think of the punchline. So
I got 6 months to think of the punchline. I walk into I crutch into a bar and then I fall over.
That's classic pratfall. I love it.
Yeah.
It's like the basest level of comedy is somebody laughed at somebody falling down, and every time it happens, I still love it. And
that's universal. It's universal.
It's great.
Also, I think farts are universal.
Oh, for sure.
I think society has told us that those are bad, but that's always fun.
It's like if you had a time machine, it's like you would go back to caveman days to see which thing people laughed at first, whether it was somebody falling over or somebody just ripping a loud one.
Or combine it. Someone fell over and then the pain made them rip.
Yeah.
And then that comedy.
That was like the human brain is just like, I need some way to respond to what I've just experienced. And then laughter spontaneously was created in that moment.
Humor. Comedy created by a fart.
Indeed.
I'm sure that's how it happened.
Elsa, how have you been? How have the last 6 months been treating you?
Man, it's been a roller coaster. So I know last time I talked to you, I was recovering from a car accident, from a broken ankle.
Yes.
Good news is the bone is healed, the ankle is healed.
Mm-hmm.
Bad news is last week I spent the entire week and some change in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
Because it somehow got infected.
Oh, wow.
We don't really even know why, right? They had me in the hospital for almost a week trying to figure it out.
Like,
I went to the...
Like in the bone was infected, or?
I was just swelling and growing a huge abscess.
Ooh.
And they said it was... The doctor didn't even know what type of bacteria it was. He says, I had to look it up. So You never want to have some rare bacteria or whatever.
Exactly.
But,
yeah.
Because I always have to do things the hard way. So, of course, I found some rare bacteria to get into my ankles. So, unfortunately, I had to have another surgery.
Oh.
I'm back off my feet again, which is a little disappointing because I was on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking. I had a fun, I have a fun little cane that I have or whatever.
Right.
And I was even back on the scooter occasionally, so I was healing up right on time like they said it would be. I was getting ready for summer, and now I gotta sit back out for another 3 to 6 weeks.
Oh, that's a bummer. I'm sorry to hear that.
It's a bummer, but the good thing is there's no more pins and plates in my ankle.
Positive.
Right? They took that out just in case that was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. A part of me is ever so slightly disappointed because I did like telling people I was like a cyborg or whatever, like, I'm Android or something like that. And it was kind of dope to be like, I got 12 pins and I got 22 pins and 2 plates in my ankle. But,
Right.
Now it's just a regular ankle with... I can't feel my baby toes.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can't feel the smaller toes. But
the
physical therapist came through today. He says that's normal.
Doesn't feel normal, but...
It does not feel normal. It feels like I don't know. I imagine this is maybe what kind of like being paralyzed might be like. I see my toes. I know they're there. I can feel that they're there. I cannot move them.
Oh, you can't move them. Oh, okay. Interesting.
No.
You can still feel them. So
I have to really think about it and focus it like Kill Bill. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your toes.
So it's like you can still feel them. So you have all the drawbacks of like being able to stub your toe, but you can't actually move them.
The feeling is like, it's hard to explain, but it feels like nonstop TV static in my foot. Oh, hello, kitty.
Sorry, that's my son. He's my wife is trying to put him down to bed. So sorry about that.
Oh, that's a baby, not a cat.
Yeah. So in the 6 months since we talked, I had a baby. Or my wife had a baby. But
oh, that's congratulations. It's a boy.
It's a boy. Yeah, his name is Tavish.
Oh, that's amazing. Hello, Tavish. I heard cat at first because cats have grown to mimic baby voices.
Yeah.
My friend's cat definitely says mom.
Yeah, that's great. I would love a cat that said mom. My cat just bites me now, which I find very annoying. Like she wants attention.
Is it jealous of the cat?
What?
Is it jealous of the? I mean, is the cat jealous of the baby?
So we have 2 cats, and one is definitely jealous of the baby because before the baby, she was always sitting on my wife's lap, and she was always getting petted by my wife. And now she just sits in a corner of the room so dejected whenever my wife's holding the baby. And then as soon as she puts the baby down, she just like zips over and jumps on her lap. So
here's my baby.
Oh my gosh.
This is Butter.
Oh, Butter.
It's my little hamster.
Oh, he's adorable. I've seen some pictures of Butter online. He's even cuter in person.
Yeah. I got I was feeling sad one day. In the past 6 months, and so I was just like, you know what I want? I want a little companion. And now my girlfriend lives here now. Before I was with her at her place. She was taking care of me mostly because I was injured. But she moved in with me now. She moved in with me into a smaller space. So that's how you know it's love.
Yeah. But that's exactly. That's great.
So
you guys are that was one of your goals for 6 months ago was moving in with your girlfriend. So that's great that's
that's happened, and it's I don't know what to say bliss, but we're having a good time. We're definitely having a good time together.
So the honeymoon period. So. Not to jinx it, but I'm sure it's
I mean, we still have our little fights or tiffs or whatever, but I think the best part about us is that like we know when to stop, or
that's great.
Like we're able to reconcile or come back together after a beef or whatever. So I don't think any relationship was without it.
Right.
And I actually, she's like, we argue a lot, and I'm like, I think we argue. We don't argue. I was like, I don't think we argue. I think we disagree, and that's normal.
Yeah, exactly. That happens. I mean, I had to apologize for something I did earlier because I was being a dick. So it happens. Yeah. And I've been married for 5 years now. awesome.
Exactly. So we co-parent this baby hamster.
That's adorable.
Here. Yeah, we're just two lesbians in Brooklyn co-parenting a hamster.
It's the
That's
dream.
very cliche. Very cliche.
That's great. So let's see what else. Since the last time we talked, you have been in the New York Times.
Aha! I have been in the New York Times.
That is so exciting.
Yeah, so I think I might have mentioned this also. The Slavers of New York project has really taken off. So we started the sticker campaign, and it was just to highlight the hidden or unspoken of legacy of slavery here in New York. We have identified street names, neighborhoods, parks, all named for slave owners across all 5 boroughs in New York City. And we've been placing stickers. We've been sort of sticker bombing those streets to sort of catch people's eye, raise awareness, and we caught the eye of the New York Times.
Oh, that's really great. So I think you were starting in Brooklyn, right? And you've expanded out to all 5 boroughs, or just kind of like?
Well, the stickers themselves still are just in Brooklyn. We're still a small team.
Right.
Now we have lots of people volunteering to help.
Oh, that's great.
So, our next stage is actually probably to create some sort of street team so that we can hit the other boroughs. But our physical stickers still only go in Brooklyn for now. But we have identified 500 different locations and streets and parks and schools and all sorts of things.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Named for... It's a lot. It's a lot. When you really start to think about it and start to look at it, you understand, like, in a way, in a sense, New York is still honoring these people by continuing to have the street names of the streets.
Yeah.
These people's names. But we also tell people our stated goal, our main goal, is not to change the names of the streets, but rather to provide the information. Almost every time I talk to somebody out on the street or talk to somebody in the press, because we've definitely gotten a lot of press since the Times, you blow up nice and good one good time, and then everybody wants to talk to you. So
yeah.
We just had an interview for Reuters.
Oh, nice.
A day or two ago. So that's that's also some big shit there. And I'll most likely, knock on wood, be performing on the Tribeca Film Festival.
Oh, nice.
In regards to this project too. So it was honestly just a machination of me and my girlfriend's mind, and then we just pulled the trigger and decided to do it, and then our partner found us through the stickers, and we've just become a really dynamic trio, and I'm just really proud of the project. You just ever have like an idea, and then now a state senator wants to talk to you.
Wow.
It's like
that's amazing. And it sounds like, it's a really interesting project, and it's also it seems really fun. It seems like it'd be really fun to execute and work on.
Yeah, it's it's a little low grade vandalism, I guess. Like I looked into it. I guess it falls into some sort of gray area as it's a sticker or whatever, but I don't know exactly the full legality of it, but it's fun. It's definitely fun. And we've been talking to a lot of people, and schools have us come and talk to their classes and stuff. So yeah, we just, we've become like, I guess, like little sort of unofficial experts in this or whatever through our research and stuff. Yeah. And yeah, it's been a great time. It's just, I had an idea a little more than 6 months ago, and here we are, less than a year later.
That's amazing. No, you should be really proud of that. And there's a website too, as well, I think. Yeah,
find us across social media at Slavers of NY. We're working on a website right now. So yeah, we've got a GoFundMe up that's maybe like a fourth of the way funded, because we're trying to get a website, like an interactive website, and also a phone app.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, of course, these things cost money, and also to continue to print stickers and pay ourselves a little bit as well.
Sure.
So there's a GoFundMe up that people have been donating to. It's great. We're looking to get 20,000, but we've raised a little over 5,000 or 6,000. So we're on our way. Yeah. We're definitely on our way, and people are interested in the project, and people are reaching out to help us in all different types of ways besides just monetarily. So
yeah,
it's been exciting.
Have you guys been doing the research yourselves and kind of?
Yeah, so our partner Maria, who linked up with me and my girlfriend, we sort of had the idea to do stickers, and we realized how like extensive or how deep this research would have to go. So we were like, why don't we just go with the one person that we know for sure? And so we just did John Van Nostrand for sure, right? We knew that one. And then through our partner Maria seen one of our stickers, and she had also been doing this research in way more depth than us. She's a researcher,
right,
and was just doing it as a side project, after work or whatever. So we had the vehicle, and Maria came through with the gas. We had a little bit of research done, like very minuscule compared to what she had, but we had a little bit of research done and the framework for the stickers. So she that was her exact thing, was as she was going through this research, she was like, how do I let people know about this? How do I get this out in front of people? And she happened to see our sticker and was like, oh, boom, here it is. And then we just combined forces. So that's amazing. That's so great that you're connecting with people. I mean, that's the thing about this kind of street level activism of just like, hey, here's some information. Like, you walk by the street sign every day, you walk by this park every day. BTW. Who is this? Who is this?
Yeah, you don't think about it. Is there one where you were like, this is a very famous place in New York and everybody would be surprised to, or is there
Nostrand?
What?
Nostrand Ave. Yeah, Nostrand Ave is named for John Van Nostrand, the Nostrand family. The Nostrand family owned 46 slaves over like a time period. I don't have the information right here in front of me. But, nobody, every time I tell somebody Nostrand was a slave owner, they're like, really? What? And, I even had a friend ask me, like, I said, Nostrand is a slave owner. And he was like, I didn't even realize that was a name. I said, yeah, man, what the hell is a Nostrand? It had to be somebody's name or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's elm and pine and rose and, all these other things and numbers and stuff that are obviously streets, but the rest of this shit is named for somebody. Who are these people?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
So, Nostrand is a big one for me because it's like 7 or 8 miles long. So it's a main thoroughfare in Brooklyn, right?
Oh, okay.
And it also runs through several predominantly majority historically black neighborhoods.
Right.
So if that feels even more egregious,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm so happy about that. And did your BET thing air?
I don't think it did. It's been more than 6 months or so, and I had a good time shooting it. They paid me, but
that's not. That doesn't hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I guess I could still use it as a credit. Like, I definitely did the thing, and they paid me. It just never aired or whatever. I don't know. It could still air. Everything takes time in Hollywood,
sure,
in TV land. So and I don't know if anybody's jokes are really like dated or whatever like that. It was a roast battle, So,
yeah. So
there's still a possibility, but I actually kind of gave up on it coming out like in like March or April or whatever. So,
that's too bad. Well,
it is what it is. I've gotten offers for other things, and I've auditioned for other things, and
nice.
Something else has come up.
What's that?
Well, I mean, Slavers of New York. I'm doing that now, and I'm getting ready for the Tribeca Film Festival, and I personally, I think a part of my success or what keeps me sane in comedy is that I don't attach myself too badly to outcomes.
Right.
Of course I want to do well. Of course I want to, do my best and, and work hard and excel and be my best. But also, like, I know that ain't nothing really guaranteed in this business. Making it is always, a very narrow sort of, thing or whatever.
Right.
And so I just sort of redefine my expectations for comedy. I like doing it, and as long as I like doing it and I'm able to continue to do it, then that's really good for me.
Yeah.
As long as people are showing up in my audiences and, I can do whatever I want. I think the pandemic has really helped me, redefine what success is, and like my ankle being broke helped me really sort of decide like what is really important and what is success. And you hear a lot of that right now with people in general, and then also definitely comedians and folks in showbiz.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I haven't been on stage since last March, and
Yeah, I haven't been on stage since last February, and I think the way it's looking with my ankle and the way time is timing, I don't think I'll probably just get right on stage for the first time at Tribeca.
Yeah. So, yeah. And so, I mean, yeah, it's for me, it's been a lot of things, you know, yeah.
Peripherally around it. Yeah. You know, like I do comedy around comedy, right? Like, I did start a podcast.
So I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
With someone else who had a life-changing ankle injury, Corey Spence.
Right. Corey, me and Corey are almost like twins, just 10 years apart, and she's black. I mean, she's white and I'm black.
Yeah.
But it's a comedy and self-care podcast, so it's kind of like blending the two areas that I sort of talk on and speak on the most. So it's called You're Fine.
You're Fine. Okay.
Yeah, which comes from, you know, a well-meaning place and also like experiential toxic place, you know, where like some people are always freaking out and like, does this mean something? Does that mean something? Like, you're fine. But also, you know, our moms also would, you know, essentially tell us to like rub some metaphorical dirt in our, you know, literal trauma wounds and like, you're fine. Right. You're fine. So it's a play on that, really, and, you know, reassuring people that you are actually fine. You're not the craziest person in the world. And and also, you know, just a little jab at our parenting, our upbringing or whatever. Yeah, but it's comedy and self-care. It's great. We try to talk about difficult topics. But while injecting some humor. And, you know, Robin Williams said I believe it was Robin Williams. It was either Robin Williams or Jim Carrey. I may be misquoting, but I do remember reading somewhere, like, it's hard to be scared of something you're laughing at.
Okay, yeah.
Right? And so sometimes mental health, physical health, these things are big, scary things, but, you know, we just try to have a little sense of humor about it without diminishing the issues at hand.
That's good. So you started in January, or?
No, we just started, I think, recording. Our first episode aired 4/20. Pew, pew, pew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think we got maybe like 5 or so episodes out. And then there's a Patreon. You can find the Patreon and get like exclusive content that we're making, like little pep talks.
Nice.
Right now, everything on the Patreon's $5. Eventually, we'll add a tier system, but you want to get in now while it's all $5, right?
Get it on the ground floor.
Exactly. We've had like 5 episodes or so far. We've talked about imposter syndrome. Mm-hmm. We've talked about hustle culture. We've talked about forgiveness. You know, all sorts of stuff.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, and you're enjoying it. You're really getting into the groove of it.
Yeah, I was actually disappointed. Neither of us could record last week. I was in the hospital and Corey was dealing with a family emergency. Mm-hmm. But I look forward to our recording days. Yeah, you know, it's a fun podcast. Corey's a good friend of mine, so, you know, sometimes it doesn't even feel like we're doing a podcast. It doesn't feel like any sort of work or whatever. And we've got a couple of subscribers, and it's early in the game, but it feels good.
That's great. Yeah.
And I think every episode gets progressively better as we learn how to do this across the country, because she's in L.A., I'm here in New York, and we get better at how we talk to each other. And, you know, it is like a conversation with each other, but, you know, there is a listener, so we have to. Sure.
Yeah. No, I get that. I mean, part of this podcast is I have to listen to stuff I did like 6 months ago when we were still very new to it. And then, so sometimes I listen to the first half of these episodes and I'm just like, man, we got way better than this. Like,
yeah. I told everybody, don't even really judge us off the first episode. Just keep listening. Yeah. It's great. You know, I mean, of course, I'm gonna say it's great. Toot my own horn, beat. But...
No, but it's good that you're making work that you're proud of, right?
Yeah, I like it, and I guess, you know, what I lack in getting on stage, I've just put that energy into other projects. And, you know, I'm a comedian as long as the fuck I say I'm a comedian, right? That's the best thing about comedy is, like, there's no bar to pass, you know, there's no test or SAT to become a comedian, and there's no super real requirements, you know, for real.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm a comedian until I say I'm not.
Yeah, no, I don't know, where I constantly feel like I'm in the middle of an existential crisis. You seem like you're dealing with it a much more healthier way than I am.
That's medication.
Yeah, well, I'm medicated too. And
Yeah, I counted up how many pills I take in a day, and it's just like, yeesh. But I cope well, I guess, right? That's the point of it, right? I'm coping well, and I mean, granted, I'm disappointed, I'm angry, sad, and having to be back off my feet, and comedy is coming back in New York, and I can't, obviously I can't get a booking or go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping though, but they said 3 to 6 weeks. I don't know if I'll be walking by the time I get to the Tribeca Film Festival. Mm-hmm. That's like the one thing I'm worried is I'm not a very still comic. A lot of my comedy like lives in my body.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like sometimes shit don't even super have a punchline. It's just maybe the way I say it or like the way I perform this joke. So I am a little like, if I have to sit or be still or whatever, and I can't walk the stage like I want to, like how's that gonna work? And they want me to write some new material, and I don't think I'll have a chance to open mic it before I go test it out. So there's a little bit of nerves there, but I'm also pretty quick thinking and good on my feet, you know? And like they want to hear it before I do it, and I'm just like, that's not that. Yeah, that's not super how it works.
Yeah.
They're also offering a considerable amount of money.
Oh, well, that makes a lot. Yeah, I was like, okay, you can hear whatever you want.
Yeah. So they want 10 minutes on this one topic, and I feel like I can probably give you guys 4 to 5 minutes on that topic, and like y'all might have to just let me do some of my own material related to that topic.
Oh, okay.
But
about the project.
It's so the podcast that I did that's hosting this live show at Tribeca is they did this episode called it's called Fuck Your Water Fountain.
Okay.
Where they found, you've seen that it's pretty popular. It's just this old photo of a young black man drinking out of a water fountain that says whites only. Oh. And he's staring right into the camera. Right? Yeah. It's a pretty popular photo. And they found that guy. I think the guy's name is Cecil J. Williams or something like that. And they found him and did an interview with him and, like what was the photo all about and why'd you do it and this, that, and the third. And they called that episode like Fuck Your Water Fountain. So they want me to find somebody who I think exemplifies sort of like a fuck you moment, fuck your water fountain moment, right, or whatever, and write about that person. I don't think I got 10 minutes of that, but I definitely got 5 minutes of it.
Well, you'll figure it out. I have faith in you.
I'll figure it out. Yeah. I'll figure it out. And, at the end of the day, once I sign the contract, you're going to pay me anyway. So.
That's great. I'll have to tell. I have a friend who works for the Tribeca. She's a projectionist, and she works for Tribeca usually every year. So
yeah.
So I'll have to tell her to.
I'll keep an eye out for her.
I'll have to tell her to check out your show. So Elsa, in the last 6 months, what do you think is kind of the biggest change you've experienced, personal and professional?
I think personally and professionally, it's first my girlfriend moving in, I think, is a really big change.
It's great.
And like, adjusting to how we live together and meshing our styles or whatever. It was a little rocky, I'd say maybe the first couple of weeks or first month or so, because I'm not gonna say like total opposites, but I'm definitely louder and more chatty.
Okay.
Of the two of us. She needs more quiet, alone, downtime or whatever.
Sure.
So what helps is that she has an office space. I have a little office space, and we had to figure out how to share the living room. But a lot of it was like me having to remind myself that like she's not coming to like hurt me or take my house away from me.
Yeah.
Or I have a lot of trauma in and around that. So it was a big change to like sort of let go some of my controls and allow her to have this house too. We have to share.
Sure.
So that was a big change, I think, personally, and just not reacting so quickly and negatively to my trauma.
Yeah.
And then I think professionally the biggest change is just looking for ways and finding ways outside of being on stage that make me money, that comedy, how I can make comedy work for me instead of me work for it.
Yeah. Are you still teaching?
Yeah, I was just about to say we're starting up a new round of the comedy school.
Oh, nice.
That's coming up in June. So essentially I kind of do a class a month. It's like a 4 or 5 week class, like once or twice a week for like 4 or 5 weeks. And so like every month or so I pick up another group of young women or whatever. So yeah, I've been doing that steadily, and we took May off, but we're gearing up for another one in June.
Still enjoying that?
Oh yeah, it's definitely enriching, and it helps me write as well. Really? You know, I have to be on my toes and creative and have responses and help these girls punch up their materials. So it helps me too. And you know, of course, you know, I'm not the gatekeeper of funny, so sometimes they're hilarious and it blows me away. So
yeah,
it's definitely what I like to say. It's definitely an iron sharpens iron situation. You know, the girls critique each other and they give each other advice and tips and stuff like that, and it's a very collaborative environment. And sometimes comedy can be so competitive.
Yeah,
that it's nice to have a space that's collaborative. You know,
that sounds again very positive. Very like a really rewarding thing to do. Yeah.
It's a community of folks. So professionally, it's just finding ways to participate and be in comedy in ways that work for me, in ways that, you know, pay me more. Like, it's essentially what I'm going to be doing at Tribeca is like all the comedy I probably would need to do for a year.
Yeah.
So in 10 minutes. So I love that. I like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Sounds good.
So that's how I want to do it.
Nice.
I think the coronavirus, my injury, has, you know, sort of put me in the position to look for these sort of non-traditional methods.
Yeah, and that sounds like you found some really great ones that are great outlets. And like, you know, like you were saying before, like with the BET thing didn't happen, but you have this Slavers of New York, which is an amazing project, and I think is just like so much more interesting and unique than even just like a single TV credit or anything like that.
Yeah,
and so much more your own thing too, which is I sometimes get depressed because it's like, oh, there's these routes to do for comedy, and it's like I just want to do my own things. I want to do my own.
Yeah,
I want to say my own.
You know, people ask me all the time, like, you know, like you do a lot of like activism and stuff, and like, how does that get in the way of comedy? I'm like, they work together.
Yeah,
they work together, and I don't like to. I've never, ever since I was little, ever since I was young, I don't like to pigeonhole myself. I'm a Gemini. We like options, you know. So I'm gonna do a little bit of this over here. We're gonna do a little bit of teaching.
Right.
We're gonna do a little bit of activism and social work, and we're gonna do a little bit of comedy. All those things pay me in different ways.
Yeah.
You know, like they pay. You know, some things pay me money. Some things are gratifying. Just good feeling for me and good for my community.
Yeah.
And all of it goes on the resume. I try to not pigeonhole myself.
That's amazing. That's not only smart, it's healthy and not gonna, you know, it's like you're banging your head against the wall or trying to fit into other people's.
Yeah,
you know.
like when comedy went away for a while, I wasn't even all that super upset because I was like, okay, well, that gives me time to do something else. Yeah. I started, delivering meals for the elderly until I broke my ankle, you know, and that was a good time. I got a good experience. That was a good time. It had nothing to do with stand-up comedy. We were just delivering meals to the elderly, you know.
Was there anything that surprised you listening back to the first half from 6 months ago?
Nah, I'm always cool.
Okay. That's as valid an answer as anything else.
No, I mean, this 2020 and 2021, I feel like has been moving slow.
Sure.
You know, it's been moving really slow, so I don't see much of change. And nothing really surprises me. I remember back then. I know what's going on now, and I know what's going on then. It's just been me.
Well, that's good. Is there anything you wish you'd known 6 months ago that you know now?
Oh, I wish I would have known infection risk. I wish I would have maybe paid closer attention to my diabetes over the last 6 months.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah, 2020 tried to really fuck with me last year. It also gave me diabetes.
Oh, wow.
I found out I had diabetes last year. Apparently, diabetes fucks with everything just a little bit. So, Not having your sugar in control can also affect how fast you heal and recover from injuries. So, also it affects like your immune system. So, it makes it easier for you to get sick or easier for you to get infections. I wasn't really super paying much attention to it because it didn't really feel like, you know, like, okay, yeah, y'all told me I had diabetes, but it doesn't feel like a thing, you know? If y'all told me I'm feeling exhausted and tired because I have like cancer or so, like, you know, but like diabetes just doesn't feel like it gets in my day-to-day way or anything. So I paid attention to it hard when they first said I had it, and then I just sort of let it go. And they, the doctors surmised that I probably didn't do myself any, again, we don't know how I got this infection, but, they said I probably didn't do myself any favors by not paying attention to my diabetes. So maybe 6 months ago, I would have told myself to chill out on the sodas because I quit. Well, I thought, I did a lot of good by not drinking beer anymore.
Sure.
I quit drinking. It's been over a year now since I've had alcohol.
Congratulations.
More than like a sip or something, or tasting a beer or something like. And so I thought that by cutting out nearly all alcohol from my diet at all, for my lifestyle, would correct things. And I mean, it did a little bit, but all I did was just like replace it with Pepsi.
Sure.
Yeah, also not as good. So,
yeah.
I was getting by because like I told my therapist I feel bad about how much I've been drinking Pepsi this year or whatever, and he was like, we'll work on that. But he was like, at first, let's just worry about you and alcohol, because he was like, you've never drank 5 sodas and wanted to throw yourself out of a window, so harm reduction.
Didn't laugh at that.
Nah, it's fun. It's funny. My therapist actually used to be a comedian, so he gets it, which is really funny. He gets it. He understands some of the things I talk about and some of what I go through, and he's a funny guy himself. It's not like he's trying to out funny me either, because I hate when people do that.
Right. I would never.
No, you stay number 2.
Thank you. Number 2 out of 2, baby.
Yeah.
It's like second place at a boxing match. So, yeah, but I can see how like the diabetes, because you have the ankle, which seems like that's the forefront problem, and you're like, whatever, diabetes not the pressing issue. The pressing issue is that my ankle is just
exactly. But they go together.
Yeah, but you can see how that would fall by the wayside. But that's good. I'm glad you're getting focused on that as well. So
yeah. It's just something I have to. I mean, one good thing is since I got out of the hospital, I haven't drank much soda at all.
Okay.
It's like been nonstop water. If you look at my recycling, it's every water bottle, every size water bottle, small ones, big ones, gallon jugs.
That's good.
Yeah,
getting that hydration sets.
Exactly, and getting the hydration, keeping the sugar low.
Right.
That way I can have sweets from every now and then.
Right.
My sugar was just way too high.
Sure.
So drinking the water, and that's been a big lifestyle change that's really been implemented in the last week or two.
Yeah, that's great.
We're gonna go with that.
All right, awesome. And I guess finally, Elsa, what's next for you?
Yeah, what's next for me? So I think, like I've stated previously, I want to prepare for the Tribeca Film Festival, 3 to 6 weeks to get back to walking again. And once I get back to walking again, I want to get back out on stage. I want to restart my show, Affirmative Laughter.
Okay.
I had a monthly comedy show. I don't like saying diversity showcase, but it essentially is. I would book maybe like all black women and one white guy. I would book all gay people and one straight person.
Okay.
Just to show people how weird that is when that happens to me. It's fucking 2021 and we still have all white, all male lineups.
Yeah.
And we throw a black person on there, or a woman on there, or a gay. And the thing is, I'm typically like, I'm easy. You just throw me on there and I'm all 3. But like also, you put me on your straight white man show, and like now I have to represent all women and all black people and all gay people, and just like, that's annoying and it's awkward. So let's just book one white guy and just show people how, isn't this awkward? So there's a joke inside the joke of the show. So I'm looking forward to bringing that back. And
nice.
The only reason why I haven't brought it back yet is because all the restrictions just got lifted.
Sure.
But I was going to bring it back in June, but the place I like to have it at, I like to have it at the Queer Center in the city.
Okay.
One, they don't charge me to set up an event.
Always nice.
So I get to pay my performers. I get to pay myself a little bit.
Even nicer.
And it's at a queer space. So I like to do it there. But they said, even though, regardless of what Cuomo said, they're not opening back up till July. So it means they're going to miss 2 years of Pride. I don't understand why they're doing that. I would have loved to launch my show back in June. I'm still holding on hope that maybe they change their minds and we can get back to it in June. But in July or August, my show's coming back. I promise.
Nice. That's excellent. I hope that gets that up and running.
Yeah, look up my projects on social media. In the meantime, You're Fine Pod.
Yeah.
On across all social media, and Slavers of NY.
Yeah.
Across all social media, and then you'll know what I'm doing.
Yeah, check out Elsa, what she's doing out there. Well, Elsa, thanks again for talking to us. This has been amazing. You're such an interesting person to talk to. I've been very delightful. So I've been really looking forward to this. So
awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you're feeling. I'm glad you're on the mend.
I'm on the mend,
and I hope that continues.
I get it. We're gonna get better soon.
Yes, get better soon. All right. Well.
All right, man. Thanks for this. This is cool.
Thank you. So, did you ever make a Christmas pudding?
Of course I made the Christmas pudding.
And how did it go?
What are you talking about? This is craziness. Yes, I made the Christmas pudding. The Christmas pudding was sensational. It was the best pudding ever in the world. I mean, it was just so good. I love Christmas pudding. It's definitely one of my favorite foods. I was thrilled because it wasn't burnt, which was a relief. I thought it was going to be burnt. Was not burnt. Perfect. Just perfect. Like perfection in a dessert form, I would say.
Did the boys like Christmas pudding?
They loved it. They ate it all up because obviously it's covered in cream and ice cream and not so much brandy butter for them. Like obviously a little tiny bit, but not too much. And to be honest, I don't think it's very alcoholic.
Yeah.
By the time it's been cooked.
That's good. But you didn't get to, because your plan was to go to your mother-in-law's and you were very excited. You were like, oh, she's going to do the cooking and she's the one who's going to have to put the shrimp on the barbie. And then it didn't happen, right?
Actually, it did end up happening. We did end up going there. Yeah, because we worked out a kind of, I don't know, loophole, I guess, which was that they were our sort of bubble, you know, like as in like our support bubble, because the only people we could have helping us, if you have children under 5 or children under whatever, you were allowed to have some kind of support. As far as I know, and that was what we came down to, was like, well, yeah, because of the support bubbleness, and also we had already quarantined ourselves for 2 weeks, so we'd specifically taken Charlie out of nursery 2 weeks before Christmas. And not seen anybody, just so that we could spend Christmas with them. And then it was like, oh my God, like we literally missed his Christmas singing and everything just so we could have Christmas with them. And then it was just too sad. Like Mary called us up and was like, I'd just be so sad if you can't come. And so we went and it was really beautiful and it was a lovely day. And I'm so glad we did.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, that's the support bubble. Like we had a support bubble with our friend, which was very helpful to get us to the hospital when Tavish was born, and then also to help us right afterwards.
What about you? What was your Christmas like? Did you end up having...
No, we were just here.
You guys were by yourself, weren't you?
Yeah. It was, we were just here by ourselves. It wasn't anything spectacular. I was fine with us being at home for Christmas. I was fine. The other thing in the episode what I was talking about was that I was not doing anything for Thanksgiving, which I was also fine about and continue to be fine about. Kind of fine.
Did you eat? You didn't eat pumpkin pie or anything?
No, never been a big pumpkin pie fan. Do you like pumpkin pie?
I do if it's good pumpkin pie. I'm just thinking about it now. I almost feel like I want to go and get some kind of pie now.
Pie's good.
Maybe
I'm more of a
hungry,
like a coconut cream pie kind of guy.
Oh, I've never had that.
Oh, it's good.
What is it? Is it like? Does it just taste like coconut flavor or?
Yeah, it's coconutty, creamy. Pretty much what it says on the tin. It's just like, I don't know. Have you ever seen anybody get hit in the face with a pie? It's a coconut cream pie.
Oh.
Yeah, no, they're good. They're light and fluffy, and I got into them a few years ago, and I was just like, I'm into this. You put a little toasted desiccated coconut on the top, put a dollop of whipped cream on that bad boy. You're just having yourself a good time. So yeah, coconut cream I highly recommend in terms of pie. You were very adamant that I knew the sex of my baby 6 months ago,
and you totally did, didn't you?
I did. Now, so I want to confess that I did know the sex of my baby, and I wasn't going to tell you, but then I felt bad because I didn't even tell you that I knew that I knew the sex. So it was just a thing. I don't know. People get weird about, like, if you tell people that if I told you I knew the sex, then you would have been like trying to guess the sex, and then I would have had to pretend like I didn't know. It was just the whole thing.
I guessed it anyway, and I guessed it accurately. I knew it was a
boy from like the beginning.
What? Well, I didn't know that.
I knew it was a boy since he was conceived. In that moment, I was
Okay.
like, it's a boy, okay? I could
You just
sense
sat
it.
up in bed and you were like, it's a boy.
It's like, I know Alice and Matt are going to have a baby, and I know it's going to be a boy. And I believe it's going to start with a T, his name.
No, you didn't. I think you guessed the name William or something really boring.
Yeah, that's probably. Oh, that's my husband's name and my father's name.
And they're both boring people with boring names. No, they're fine people, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
But-
My husband is the best person ever in the world. Thank you.
Is he? I think you're the best person ever in the world.
Oh, that's really kind. Oh dear, lucky Will. Okay. Anyway, so all right, let's move on. What are you? Okay, so obviously I was right about the baby thing. You were very wrong to not tell me the truth about that.
Again, I apologize for that. Oh, so the other thing with the intro is that was the last intro, or no, the one before was the last intro you ever did. So
what? What do you mean?
No, so we were switching
Oh,
off
as
the
in
intros.
like the oh right, because I was like, I've been literally doing all the intros since. So
No, yeah. But you were doing the thing where we were like, I was doing the odd ones and you were doing the even ones, and then you were like, I don't want to do this anymore, which I wanted to address just because in case people in the future are like, why doesn't Matt let Tara do intros anymore?
If you're wondering that, I just want you to know it's because Matt's very dominating. And
yes, I have silenced Tara. Tara, please, I'm talking right now.
He's like, Tara, I don't want you doing the intros anymore. That's it. You're done with them. Okay.
No,
you're lucky to even be on this podcast. That's what he said to me. And I was like, whatever you say, Matt.
No, I think it was something more like people aren't going to take us seriously as a podcast if a woman is talking right at top. And that
I was like, thank you for allowing me to be on here. Despite the fact that I'm a woman, I'm so grateful. No, what happened was basically I always had a lot of anxiety about doing them, and I always felt like I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the process. And I think Matt's really good at it. He just sounds confident, sounds relaxed. I like listening to him. And I also like the fact that I don't have any pressure on me. I can just sort of listen, observe. I don't ever have to remember what people do when they're sort of like, saying whatever, and like they need to be introduced however they need to be introduced, and their various different award-winning things they've got, or I don't have to remember any of that. I can just be here, and Matt has to do all the work. So I'm happy. I'm really happy about that. Love it.
So okay, just wanted to let people have a peek behind the curtain and let them know what was going on with that. But anyway,
no regrets. I don't regret for 1 second. Every time I've listened back and heard myself doing an intro, I cringe, and I'm like, why did I ever do a single intro?
I think your intros are fine, and they're fine and charming.
Fine is not a compliment. Okay, if you say I think your intros are fine, does not make me think they were good. All right, just FYI for when you're trying to compliment people in the future. If anyone ever is like feeling a bit insecure about what they're doing, don't say that what they were doing is fine. Okay, if you want to convince someone to keep doing something, just be like, you're amazing at it. You have a gift. Okay, I'm glad you're not saying that because it's not true. I don't have a gift at it, and I'm glad I'm not doing it. But I'm just saying, fine is not a way to convince someone that they were doing something well.
I'm sorry that my praise wasn't strong enough.
Fine is not praise. Okay.
Well, God. This is why I don't give you compliments.
It's not a compliment.
You did a great. Well, this is why I don't try. Anyways, you did a great job. I have no regrets.
Great job. That's a compliment.
I don't think you should regret any of your intros. They're all fine. They're all great.
Thank you.
And they're all great. And if you didn't want to do it because it's stressful, I 100% understand. And I appreciate that you're honest with me about things like this. That's great.
Hey, it's a pleasure. I'm glad that you're honest with me too, and that you give me very fine feedback. So
fuck you.
Thanks so much for listening, guys.
Yeah, thanks everybody for listening.
I'm grateful that you're part of this beautiful team. I feel like we're all in this together, and there's a lot of love here. So I hope you guys have a beautiful day wherever you are, and take care. Have a fine time this week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week, or I don't know. Actually, I have virtually no interaction with anyone, so but I'll hopefully hear from you. Feel free to get in contact.
Yep. How would people do that, Tara?
People can contact us through 6 months later pod, all the things, 6 months later pod at gmail.com. Please leave us a review. That'd be super great. Like, if you wouldn't mind leaving us a fine review, 5 stars, it'd be amazing. Obviously, that'd be great. You can find me on Tara NW Comedy on all the stuff. And Matt, where can people find you?
I'm M. Shadorn on Twitter and Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you get to see pictures of my baby and sometimes my pets. And in addition to social media, I make other media. I have another podcast called Comedy Killed the Video Star. And this week I just put out an episode with my good friend Dustin Meadows. And he is a big fan of nu metal. And he exposed me to some nu metal videos that were pretty fun, actually. I was not expecting to like them as much as I did. So that was a pleasant surprise. We discussed some fun nu metal videos. But thanks everybody for listening. And yeah, have a great day. And we'll see you next week.
In 6 months. Take it easy.
Bye. That was fine.
Oh, you know what? I didn't get to the end. I forgot that there was a joke at the end.
That's all right.